Now for something completely different.
Well, two honks and Kim just messing around. You'll never know they talk about on two honks. Two honks and Kevin. You might hear something about the NBA. Maybe they'll just make your day on two honks. Two honks and Kevin. It's sports and life and family too. Let's all listen to two honks and a Kevin.
Yeehaw! I've got moves, man.
I keep needing to move that around a little bit, but
It's great, dude.
Classic.
it's been busy.
Yeah. Now that we expect it and remember to pause for it, it's a pretty funny
It's a
ending.
lot better. It's a lot better. I bet you don't have that on your new fancy podcast, Blake.
Oh, come on.
You ain't got no theme song, homie.
Dude.
Like
Hey, man.
Justin Timberlake on us, man.
Whatever. Y'all start a podcast is separate from me first, so I was too cool. I wasn't dorky enough to be a part of it.
Oh man, we'd be happy to have you on the Two Nerds podcast.
Yeah. Where's that been?
There's
You guys-
no rest.
Well, we kind of just do it. We kind of just do it whenever, you know.
You
Yeah.
gotta have a lot of material for that one.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah. Well, that's kind of now that I've put one out. I think that's kind of how mine's going to be. Like I love this weekly stuff, but like we've kind of texted about it. I kind of want it to be more individually driven. And if they are going to be, a couple hours long, potentially. I don't want to throw. It's hard to throw out 2 or 3 a week or once a week, even. At that rate. But so yeah. So. But yeah, man, it's out there.
Split those,
Out there.
get episodes out of those, man. I know, there's other podcasts that do that. They don't Joe Rogan it for 4 hours. They split it up, part 1, part 2.
Yeah, I feel like, but if I'm listening to it, like, I guess I could break it up in 2 weeks, like throw out part 1, then throw out part 2. Yeah.
It's an hour. It's like an hour, that way you also can budget your time a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then,
You could also do let's introduce that part first. Hey, Blake did his first podcast this week for all our listeners, right? And it's called Talk Your Walk, correct?
Correct.
All right, so he did his first interview, and his first interview was with his cousin that was kind of like an older brother to you.
Correct.
And
yeah.
it went for like 2 hours, and we wanted to start by sharing your experience from that. Like, what's the follow-up? Because I think Richard has a good idea. So, because you went through the 2 hours, maybe you could drop something later. Because you were like, man, I got this. I could ask this. Maybe a follow-up half hour, and all drop them at the same time.
So you mean like put? Okay, so I see what you're saying. Like have
Like after you listen to it.
and then go back and do it again with them with more questions.
No, just do like a 20-minute follow-up.
Yeah, just follow-up episode. And then drop that as a second.
Oh, I see. So you're saying, okay, so like I put this out with Derek, right? And let's say I let it sit for a week or two because he hasn't even promoted it yet. Like he hasn't even sent it out to his friends. And I think it's at like 85 views today. I looked at it. So I felt like that was, I guess, pretty good for, almost a week.
Yeah.
But,
We don't have 85 views out of 100 episodes.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like, but I don't know. I feel like this is a little bit different.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is or not really, but yeah. So but I kind of had a feeling like just with my family in general, like honestly, I don't know how many of them have listened to it, but like I know my wife hasn't. I don't know if my sister has. Like a lot of people don't have 2 hours to, sit down. Yeah. So I do respect that, but honestly, to me, man, like, because I've been thinking a lot, my thoughts always go to, like, why? Like, why are you even doing this? Like, you get your podcast feel with, on this, and which I love. But honestly, I think it's just, like, I just kind of want to have some recorded conversations with, like, my circle of people. my friends, my connections, the people I've walked through life with or whatever. You know, not to get too deep with it, but like, yeah, and just it's just to me it's just your average guy, you know. And honestly, like Theo Vaughn does that. He'll literally have a plumber on. He had like a truck driver on. He had I sent you guys that one today, that border control officer on. You know, so it's just kind of some people that you don't really hear from because they're not a celebrity or whatever, you know. And there's so many podcasts that are like that. So, but yeah, and then just on top of that, it's like, I mean, dude, I've had some great conversations with like my circle of friends, right? Like my cousins, like the people I'm doing life with. So it's just like, so, and there's things that come out of it that I always know would be so beneficial for other people, you know, that listen to it, right? So, so yeah, I mean, that's just kind of I guess the gist of it. But yeah, I mean, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
So,
and I think part of the why is it is technically a different podcast. It's more of a hard, personable, like conversation that you would have drinking a beer with your buddy, right?
Yeah, you know how I get.
Yeah. It's a whole different. Like this is more of a mixed bag. This is the setup you have is more personable, so it is a different podcast.
Yeah, I think at the end of it, like I would love for once I do one of just the solo of you guys or whatever, it's like Kevin or Richard will be able to, like, if you wanted, post that and be like, if y'all want to know about me, here you go. You know, because like we've said before, like this whole idea really kind of started with me and my buddy Aaron McNeil. Like we sat out by a fire one night, and I mean for like 4 hours, and like we went past like the surface of just friends, right? Like we kind of known each other for 15 years or whatever, but like we never really dug deep into the insecurities of life or the struggles of life, or even, hey man, tell me, you know, what was your relationship like with your dad, right? And then like as soon as he told me it was just like, oh crap, like we're two totally different people. I didn't even, like, I've known you for 15 years and I had no idea like you've had that relationship with your parent or whatever, right? Like it doesn't even have to be that example. So and I'm not even saying he had a bad relationship with his dad. It's just he was one of 9 kids. So my whole point is that, you know, he gave me this whole totally different perspective of his life, and I just found it, you know, intriguing. So, you know, that just kind of led me just, you know, being more real with people, I guess, and getting to know people a little bit better. I mean, you know, we do it a little bit, you know, even on the podcast. So, so yeah, I mean, just, you're right. It is a little bit of a different podcast, but then again, I hope it can also just be like this, where we just kind of shoot the shit, so to speak, and just talk about whatever, you know, just kind of talk about life together.
Absolutely.
So anyway, so I mean, it's fun. I mean, I enjoy it. You know, I've always struggled kind of like putting myself out there. I don't like being on video and stuff, but it is what it is. It's out there, and if people want to listen to it,
now it's over.
Yeah.
It's over now.
Yeah, it's over. So we'll see. But it's a hobby.
It is kind of funny, like you're sitting there talking about like you'll have friends or acquaintances and like you know them, but you really don't know them. Everybody's like a jawbreaker. You still have those layers. Get all the way to the purple for me, man.
That's what's up, dude. That's what's up.
Get all the way down to the gumball for me. You know what I'm saying? But some people don't let you in. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, and you got to be willing to be open, you know. But I don't know. Like, it's funny because it's like I find myself, even with people I don't even know that well, like conversations can kind of go deep quick, you know, just because, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a little bit more of an open book and not afraid to kind of show real emotions or feelings about something, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. It just, you know, to your point, Kevin, like I was finding out stuff about my own cousin, right? Because we don't talk about that stuff, right? Like you don't, you know, there's like even him going through school and, you know, him being bused to the different sides of towns and all that stuff. Like, I had no idea my cousin was going through that at that age or whatever, you know? So anyway, so yeah, I'm probably going to do one with his sister, Jada, which will be, I think, really good. She's hilarious and she's a lot of fun. So, and she's had, you know, she's going to have a totally different, see, that's what's beautiful about this. Yeah. Same mom, completely different lives, completely different households for the most part. Like, you know, it's just, dude, there's a lot of layers there to unfold. So yeah, so I'm excited.
Keep it up, man. I'm happy for you.
Well, thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Right.
Richard probably tired of me hitting him up during the week, like, what mic should I get? What
mic should I get?
I'm so dumb to it. Yeah. I'm like, is a mixer and a transceiver or whatever the heck it is he called, is it the same thing?
Can I get the Tiger King song on auto-tune as my introduction?
Yeah. I do need to find a intro song for sure, but,
awesome.
Baby steps.
Yep, we'll get there.
Yeah, man. So anyways,
Kevin,
so that's that.
what are we wearing today? What shirt is that? I see a face. Is it Prince? Oh, okay.
Oh, nice. Dude, Kevin pulling out all these type of shirts.
My classic Dave Chappelle glasses shirt. I got a couple Dave Chappelle shirts. I seen Jared over there texting me. He must be watching this online. Hey man, it's
What up,
bourbon
Jay?
night, bro. Come
It
join us.
is. What bourbon you drinking, Kev? Oh, I got Buffalo Trace.
I just got some Jack, man. Some Jack Fire, cinnamon stuff.
You love that stuff.
Yep, goes down easy.
So what's up, boys? Hey, Richard, how's your tooth?
Oh,
Did you get your? It's good.
It's good. I haven't gotten a dentist appointment yet.
Uh,
I don't have time.
You guys didn't hear last week's episode.
I'll get.
Richard had a tooth injury with a booty hole incident. Hey, let me tell you, I went to my boss's office, and I don't know how we got on this subject, but I was telling him that story, and he crunched over and died.
It was. We need to cut that. We need to cut that segment and just post it. We need to do more stuff like that on our social media too, man. I know it takes time, and I always talk about doing it myself, but I need to start doing that. That's a funny segment. My boy Landon, I shared you guys the text messages Landon sent. He was dying.
I told him the part when I asked, "Hey, did she go past the knuckle?" Like, I feel like you violated me past the knuckle.
Yeah,
that is classic, man.
Oh man, that's funny, dude. Well, I'm glad your tooth's all right.
You could have got up and said, "I got moves, man." After that.
Put me on the court and I'm trouble. Last week, messed around and got a triple-double. I had to play that song the other day, and you guys know why. Today was a good day.
What was that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was the day when my best friend at work quit.
There you go.
And we'll just leave it at that. It was a good day.
There you go. Yeah, we heard you're investigating a new opportunity at work, is what I hear.
Yeah, there was a guy there that was working in operations, and I think he was wanting to get the operations management position, and it didn't happen. So he basically quit, from what I understand, which kind of opens up a door for me, I guess. I don't know. It's such a weird.
So he wasn't an operations manager, but he was applying for it, right?
So we had the operations manager quit, and and then somebody in operations get fired like in a 2-week span or something like that. So they pulled me from basically doing my sales support job, and threw me into operations, which I can't say I loved, but it was the best thing they could do for me, because I'm totally understanding like every aspect of the job. I've got relationships with like everybody in the office, like all the mechanics, like everybody. And I've been, I've been doing that for 6 months, 8 months, however long it's been. Excuse me. And it's been an okay role. It's not like my most favorite job in the world, but it is what it is. So he tried to get the operations manager position, and once he found out he wasn't getting it, he quit. So now it just leaves me. So we literally have nobody in operations, actually. I'm not even technically operations, even though I'm working there, right? So looks like there's a potential for me to get the operations manager position. And I honestly don't know too many of the details, but I'm planning on talking to my boss probably maybe tomorrow if I have a chance. So that's that. So there's a little bit of a blue. I mean, that job's been rough on me, man. I've had a lot of frustrating days, but hopefully the sky is looking a little bluer.
Yeah, you got that window of opportunity, and you built relationships before to kind of get you to cross over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I think that's the problem with a lot of people's jobs is like they never get to know what the other person's doing. Like they just stay in their box, right?
Right.
You might
and
be doing that, right? You know?
Yeah.
So they
and
never
that's-
build that
yeah.
relationship, and they're like, "Hey, these guys don't talk to us. We don't talk to them," and so yeah,
Nope.
there won't be a lot of awkwardness if you cross over.
Yeah, and I don't know how much. I really don't think I will deal with the mechanics that much, but like those are the people that like I seeked after when I first started there.
Mhm.
You know, like the hardworking, greasy guys that everyone thinks are peons. They think that they're peons, right? Like I mean, that's just how unfortunately they get labeled. You know, dude, I'm telling you, I walk down the bay and it's just like, what's up, Kenny? What's up, Rodney? What's up, Bob? What, you know, just I just always have, and you know, always just try to kind of keep that, you know, positive attitude or whatever. And I think people see it and people like it. I mean, the shop manager likes me. Like I really seriously like have everybody's kind of like they know I'm there to be a teammate and to give my best and to whatever, you know. So I just got to be good at the job.
That goes with every job. If you get to know people, that's half the battle. Like you cared enough
Right.
to get to know me, you know.
Yeah,
Like we can
exactly.
we can build a relationship and at least talk. I mean, I've seen it. Like, hey, I don't talk to these people. Like, and then those people think that he thinks that we're beneath him, you know. So
Nope.
yeah, everybody's
High five.
important. You never know when you're going to need that person too, and
That's
they
a
might
fact.
do stuff for you that they wouldn't do for anybody else.
And they
because
do.
You guys are cool. you
And
know?
they do, because they know they're always going to get a, hey man, I appreciate you, thank you for that, right? I mean,
Sure.
that's how we should treat everybody. But anyways,
Yeah,
so yeah, man,
there's studies out there that say that even if you're not that good at your job, if you have a good personality, you're more than likely to succeed.
well, everyone tells me I have a good personality. I should be really successful by
Hey.
now.
I explained that to some coworkers on, I think it was Friday. I was like, work is kind of like the game of Survivor. If your social game is not right, then you're not going to be good anywhere they put you.
And honestly, that's why that guy didn't get the job. I mean,
Right.
no one liked him. Like, I'll just put it out. Like, very few people. I mean, it's just the way he treated people. He just and he would tell you that he doesn't like people, and it showed, you know. But we were kind of texting about it a little bit last week, and maybe we can kind of dive deeper into it. Like there's part of me that hates the way, like, you have to move up in a company, right? Like, Kevin, you were talking about it a few weeks ago or whatever, which I was going to ask you about it, like your opportunity, right?
Yeah, I'm still in the process.
Really? But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like there's part of me that just hates that process, right? It's just like you always have to try to get these like little advantages and these little raises, and then eventually it's like they can fire you at any time they want. You know, it's like
That
this
range,
little
right?
yeah, it's just this like,
Yeah.
well, I gotta give up this, but I'm gonna make an extra $5,000 a year, you know. And it's just like, I don't know, there's just sometimes where it's like I'm driving home and I'm just like, does it matter? Like, we're all making somebody else richer. You know, it's like, you know, like would it be better if you were just doing whatever you wanted to do and just found a way to make money at it? You know, and that's so easier said than done. You know, it's like, you know, like I always think about coaching. Like, I absolutely love coaching. Like, I just love it. I love helping kids. Like, if I could have a youth program where somehow I could get paid and I just instill, like, you know, confidence into I've always said this, man, like, especially kids without dads, right? To be able to, like, really pour into them and help them and build them and give them confidence, whether if it be on a, you know, baseball field, basketball court, or whatever. Like, I don't know, I've always had there's something there in me that just I get it from my dad. I know I do. And I've watched him coach kids and get close to kids that, you know, maybe have from a split family or whatever. You know, you come across a lot of that. So anyways, I'm rambling at this point, but so yeah, I don't know.
I think what you're trying to say is like do we have to, right? Like, is it in us to like always want that promotion, to always keep wanting to build up? Like, I just think that's on your personality, right? Because I'm only gonna try to escalate up or move up if I like it or think that I can make a difference in that position. Because like
Right.
at the moment, I'm fine where I'm at. Like, I
Right.
just would regret it if I didn't make this decision. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
But like, because you can turn down opportunities and stuff like that. I've always made that a rule because I've been at jobs that I hated. Like, I'm never
Right.
gonna like put myself through that again, where it's just horrible. Right?
Yeah.
But I think it's natural for people to want to challenge themselves and move up in a company. Um, but it's on your personality and your choice. Like, I don't feel like you should ever be forced into that, because that's when you make the wrong decision. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
I also, and I'm a firm believer in give yourself time to think that whole situation out. Rich has been through it. He's switched jobs, had better opportunities.
Yeah.
I mean, he could speak on it better.
Yeah, yeah. Speak up on that, Rich. Like, I mean, how you know you've been able to. I think this has been a pretty good year for you. Like, you've been able to kind of better yourself in different opportunities. Like, is that just you just filling out applications, or just always looking for opportunities, or what? Because I do feel like I'm very much a like, nope, I'm here. I'm just gonna work here. You know, You know, it's like I feel like I don't search elsewhere. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is, just never being satisfied, with my position. It's not saying like I've never been happy with where I work, but it's like I feel like I have this need to always improve, you know.
Right.
So,
That's good.
that's not to say that I'm not happy. It's just, okay, I'm here. So what's next? Like, I don't have like an ever-reaching goal to get to like this. What I do is I set smaller goals for myself, and I reach those
Mm.
goals. A lot of that's done, you know, by learning. There's
Now,
plenty of things you can learn out there. So
and not to interrupt you, when you say you set goals, do you legitimately like write them down? Like, are you one of those guys, or is it just kind of like
a
stuff you keep in your
a
head?
mental note. This is
Okay.
what I want to do, and then like within those goals, you understand what steps you need to have to get to that goal. Right.
Right.
Say, okay, I want to, from this position, I want this position. These are the things I need to accomplish, whether it be certifications, whether it be getting to know the right people, whatever those steps are needed to do it. That's basically what you do.
Right.
So like this week, I'm in training all week for Salesforce, so that I can eventually become like a Salesforce developer. Like right now, I'm a Salesforce administrator, so I know that in order to be a developer, I need to go to classes and I need to get some certifications. So
Right.
those are my next steps. Like, it's just having that big step and then those little steps that are necessary with it.
And are you doing that for your job, or just for like just to know, just so you can really?
Just for me. Yeah.
So, are you a student? Like, do you like to learn and all that?
Yeah, it's constantly with, Udemy, Udacity, whatever I can get my hands on. Salesforce has great learning tools out there. So yeah, it's, even with like IT, because I've been doing IT for, over 10 years now. You can always get your hands on a book or some sort of training material. So there's always something new to be certified in, or something to learn with IT especially. But it's the same way with office work, right? There's, all kinds of, you can always learn Excel better. You can always learn,
Mhm.
you can always learn project management. You can always learn how to be a better leader. There's like inspirational books out there. Not necessarily certifications, but there's always things out there to do to better yourself. And I just feel like, I'm just one of those people that I'm never going to be satisfied with where I am. I'm always going to want to
Right.
move up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then
That's good.
it's all about evolution, right? Because like, I honestly, when I made the goal to be where I'm at, like, that was my cap. That's just where I wanted to be. And then like, it's all about reassessing. And it's like, hey, if I outgrown this role, am I bored
Yeah.
with it? Almost like
Yeah.
like you were talking about. Hey, I'm bored. Like,
Yeah.
I need something more challenging. So it's
Yeah.
always about that too. Like, if you think you can take on something more challenging, and that's what's going to keep you more engaged, you got to look at it like that also. Look for a better
Right.
opportunity.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. It's Oh, I was gonna piggyback off of that, and I just totally lost it.
I think
I don't
so
know.
too, especially for me. Like some of it is also the fear of losing a lot. Like I don't know. Like I am always kind of paranoid that I've gotten this far in life. What happens one day if it all goes away?
Yeah.
So there's always that fear of when just because I've reached success, I'm not satisfied because I'm always afraid that success is going to go away for some reason. Like it's
Yeah.
not, whether I get fired or laid off or I do something dumb by accident, whatever. That fear is always there, and I think that probably is a good driver.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And Richard, I kind of feel that way. Also, do you think that's like just the way you grew up or something like that? Like, I
I
feel
think
like that because like I was always like we were growing up poor. Like I don't
yeah,
ever remember having this stuff. So like I always feel like I'm gonna lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if I lose it?
yep, this is
Like that's
exactly
how I personally feel. Yeah.
exactly what I was going to say. I think it's just because I come from a family that had single income, and it wasn't
Mhm.
much income, and basically I was we were our food was rationed. Like you can
Mhm.
have this many glasses of milk a day. You can have one can of soda every other day. Like our food was rationed. Not that I was starving,
Mhm.
but it was like you can only drink this much or have this much because we can't afford anything else.
Absolutely.
I wish we would do that.
Right
There's
now, right
times,
now.
man, when I open up a cabinet,
40
I'm
pounds
like,
lighter.
food is falling out everywhere, but we have nothing to eat. It's like, what is going
Yeah.
on?
There's nothing in there.
Yeah, dude, groceries kill me, man. The amount of money we spend on that.
My son is the
Right.
complete opposite. The other day, he told me, "I think eating's a waste of time. I just kind of want to eat something really quick and be done with it." Like
Ah,
he doesn't care about food. Like he doesn't
Just
care.
he
inject
doesn't
it in me.
enjoy it.
No,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, I got other things I can do.
yeah,
We
yeah.
kind of pick him like protein and like we make sure he gets like the highest quality, the highest kind of nutrients that he can get during a meal.
Yeah,
An apple, some chicken, and you're
yeah.
all-
Get him some protein and veggies.
yeah. So he doesn't
Yeah, it
care
sounds-
about anything else.
It sounds like you need to introduce them in the Hot Pockets.
No, he won't touch those.
you're just done after that.
Hey, you
do your
you
2
talk.
minutes, eat it for 2 minutes, and
He
you're
won't
out,
even
buddy.
eat pizza rolls.
Really?
No, he doesn't like any of it. He's like, I just want something really quick and be done.
You want to talk? You want to talk about white trash food?
Yeah.
Dude, that's one of the best skits ever.
practical stuff right there. Slap that right in.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
You're either gonna chip a tooth or you're gonna burn your mouth. Did that first bite, man.
Corners, huh?
Yep. I fixed me up some ribs today on my new grill.
Ah,
On
yeah.
that- on that
So why
trigger.
don't you tell us about the big splurge you made this week?
Oh, dude. Well, my grill's been acting up. It's not holding heat. It's just, it's one of those you got to reach your hand in there to light it now because it's just, it's got all types of issues
Oh,
with it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm like catching myself on fire. So we were at Costco and I saw the Traeger and I was been looking at the Pit Bosses which is a little bit cheaper than the Traeger. But we were there, and it was actually the same price, but it was a little bit smaller than the one at Lowe's. But at Costco, anytime something breaks, you can return it, or if you don't
Yeah.
like it, you can return it. So to
Yeah.
me, it was like, well, this is the last grill I guess I got to buy, because whenever it breaks, I can just take it back, So
Right.
so that's kind of what I was thinking. But yeah, it's a smoker, so it's taken a little bit of getting used to. But I mean, I've fixed biscuits on it and eggs and sausage on Sunday. I just did ribs on it, which were pretty good. I think I took them off a little too soon, but it's all learning. So I really haven't experienced much in smoking and all that. And I mean, you can do everything on it. It's like an outdoor grill, or outdoor oven. So
Yeah.
so yeah, but it's fun. It's a fun experiment. And I also think for fight nights, I'm going to start, I'll throw some wings on it and,
Hook 'em
use
up.
that to entertain a little bit too. So
Nice.
yeah, man.
You gonna make some elk on there fight night?
Yeah, man.
Elk and jalapenos.
Yeah, just like my boy Rogan.
Yeah. We're having elk tonight for UFC. Night.
Yeah.
A 4-hour interview while we eat it.
What'd you say?
We're gonna have a 4-hour interview while we eat it.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be funny.
Smash. Pretty sure. That's awesome though. So
Yeah,
Jerry
man.
goes from burning his house down, and Blake gets a new
Ah.
grill.
That's right. That's what's up. That's it. He inspired me, I guess.
I'm gonna burn my shit down. I'm getting a new grill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for real.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He caught on fire.
Yep. So yeah. So what else is going on? Go ahead.
And how was that? How was the shot at the Speedway? Did you still go to the Speedway?
Yes, I did. So I got a text from you guys at the same time my wife was calling, and so they were like, "Hey, we're shutting down this Johnson & Johnson vaccination, and you're gonna get a Moderna vax, right?" So which was weird to me. So I kind of read some stories on that to see why. Do you know what the full base of that was?
Yeah. So basically, there were like 6 women that contracted some sort of a clot after getting it. They
Mm-hmm.
don't know if the clot. They don't know if it's just if it's really causation, or if it's just or if it's just it just kind of happened along one with the other. So they're just grabbing the data, trying to figure out exactly if that was the cause of it, and if it was, there are ways they can catch that early.
Right.
So they just kind of want to identify if it's something they need to be looking for, and if it really was the cause, and just those kind of things. They're saying the shot's going to come back. It's just they're just trying to collect the data so they can be
Right, before it comes back. And I did like your post. I showed some people at work that post with the guy saying, "Hey, you think the 6 women are bad? Just think of all the other the people that died from COVID."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So
They
the
did-
setup was
There was some sort of statistic online that said that basically I don't remember the exacts of it, but it basically showed like the chances of getting death by car accident, and then next was death by COVID, and then hit by lightning, win the lottery, and then like the very last thing was getting a blood clot from Johnson & Johnson.
that's awesome.
It's amazing how quickly like the jokes and the stuff can just come out, and people put a different twist on stuff or whatever.
The internet is undefeated.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
so
yeah.
the setup was they basically had the National Guard working where I went, right? You check in on the tablet, you show your ID because we already made the appointment. Then you drive through. Nurse asks you a couple questions, and so mine was kind of weird because they asked was I ever allergic to anything, and I've been allergic to penicillin since I was a kid. So she was like, "All right, I'm gonna give you this red tag instead of this normal tag because you gotta wait 30 minutes instead of 15 minutes because you're officially allergic to something." So I'm sitting there waiting in the car after the fact, right? And the National Guard actually comes up and down the aisles checking on you. There's also an EMS at every row on every side that is also doing the same thing, checking on you to see if you're having an allergic reaction or something, right? And so, man, I wake up at 4:30 every morning. So I'm sitting in the car. That's dead time to me. I can fall asleep like that. I start falling asleep, and so the National Guard taps on the window. He's like, "Dude, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just tired." He's like, "Dude, you can't not go to sleep, or they're gonna think something's wrong with you."
You shouldn't have
Oh,
answered,
man.
dude.
Right? I was like, "Man, all right, I'm good, man. I'm just tired." Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
shut my eyes and it'd be over. But that was the only thing. You sit there and wait, and then you're out. They dismiss you at your time because they put a time card on when you start waiting, and that's it. I just took the Band-Aid off today, so
Do
I
do,
go
now,
in.
do you feel sick at all? Like, have you felt like you got any
No,
symptoms?
so I've heard from people that have had the Moderna that you feel more of those kind of symptoms on the second shot, not the first shot. And that was just from a coworker because I asked him before I went because I know he took the day off when he got his second one. So I was inquiring on that. So yeah, I felt fine.
I bet
Personally.
I bet they get a bunch of people in there on Fridays and Saturdays
I
because they're
guarantee it.
expecting to be sick a day.
Right.
I bet.
And
Was it super busy? What time did you go?
4 o'clock, and I felt like they had so many lines. Like I would say that they were working probably like 10 bays, the whole time it just kept moving. So I mean, I was out of there so I came out of there at 4. I was going at like 4:35 basically.
Dang, that's not bad.
It was like in that, and then I basically made my second appointment while I was waiting.
Yeah,
Got online, boom, 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 fell asleep, and then I was good.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
good.
That's hilarious. You
And
got
that
a
is-
nap in.
The funny thing about that's where I learned Slick Leonard died.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy,
was waiting
man.
on that. Yeah.
Boom,
was-
baby.
Yeah, I know, man. That's gonna be crazy. They'd probably make a movie out of that dude, man.
Yeah, man. Maybe. I don't know.
Indiana legend,
Yep. Facts.
basketball legend.
Yep. Played for him. Coached for him.
Yep.
Yep.
I think I kept hearing people talk about him running a telethon, basically to save the Pacers. Have you guys ever heard that story?
No.
Yeah, I guess it was like in 1977 or something. They thought they were going to lose the team, and they did like a telethon basically
Really?
to save the to save the.
That's
Pacers.
crazy.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that is
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean,
When the
yeah.
last time you seen a telethon?
All right,
No
I got a
kidding.
new story for it.
All
How
right,
Slick Leonard saved the Pacers with a 1977 telethon. This is
there you go.
factory working men with nothing more to give than $5 or $10 bills showed up, still greasy in their uniforms. Children sidled shyly in the hands over coffee cans filled with pennies and nickels. Money they scrounged up going out the door. And of course, now I have to subscribe to IndyStar.
To continue the article.
We're not going to do that. We'll go to ESPN.com here.
There you
It
go.
was July 3rd, and his wife held a telethon to stave off the Predators and keep the Pacers in Indianapolis. There's a 30 for 30 for it.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah. I think it's like a 30 for 30 short or something like that. I just heard it on the radio today.
Yeah.
That's like the modern day GoFundMe now. Telethons.
Yeah, for real. Dude, I saw somebody on the interstate today on the back. It said, happy birthday. Or it said, it was for a birthday, but it said, Venmo me money. And it had her name on it. And I was just like, I kind of want to give her $5 just for like being
for
out
being
there,
that
just
bold.
just driving around saying it's my birthday, give me money, you know, because
it's my birthday.
you know, someone's gonna slide her $100. Someone will be like, I'll bless some girl today that, yeah.
Pay it forward.
I'm gonna do that when I turn 40.
Pay
Just driving
it
around
forward.
town. Like, I'm 40 with 3 daughters. Enough said.
Yeah.
Venmo.
I gotta pay for some weddings here soon, so
Dude, for real.
Venmo me.
For reals. So, are you guys excited at all for this Jake Paul Ben Askren fight?
Nope.
Have you?
Hold on, when is it?
I think it's this weekend.
All right, so the only thing, I mean, I'm not excited, but I just know the Paul brothers are getting so much hype, and it was like, I was saying something about it Sunday because they were on, I think it was Jake that was on WrestleMania, Richard?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was Jake. It wasn't. I thought it wasn't both of them, right? It was just one of them.
It's just one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean they're marketing
So much
geniuses. I mean they're
So
you know
much
that's yeah. So for those that don't know, Jake Paul is a YouTuber who's been training boxing for basically the last according to him, 3 to 4 years. And then Ben Askren is this incredible wrestler, two-time NCAA champion. He fought over and won in UFC or in MMA overseas, I should say. He was a champion there. Just an incredible wrestler, but he's got no hands. Like so Jake Paul, and Ben's was retired. He just had hip surgery, but Jake Paul just kept running his mouth and was wanting to fight someone. So Ben was like, I'll fight him. Like, I don't care, I'll fight him. Like, why not? I'll box him. So anyway, so there's a lot of trash talk going between them, but it's kind of appealing to me though, just because of like the way we're being entertained now. You know what I mean? Even in the fight game,
It's
right?
not serious anymore.
But it is like, but I think it's like anybody can do it. Like
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, like in all reality, yeah, he is a YouTuber, but he's also put a bunch of time and effort into learning this skill, like Jake has, and that's why I think honestly I think he's going to win, because yeah, because I mean he's like, according to them, I mean he's really like, they literally have fallen in love with boxing and want to, and anyone that's been doing it for 3 to 4 years, I think can be good enough to beat, a strict mainly wrestler, so I don't know,
Be
but
Ben Askren.
yeah, but I also and Jake Paul's bigger, but I also can see Ben Askren just like dirty boxing him the whole time and just clinch, box body, clinch, chase him, like a wrestler, right? And just get him off his game. But I don't know. I'm pretty intrigued by it though. I ain't gonna lie.
Is this on that DAZN thing?
No, no, it's Triller.
Triller.
It's
There you go.
Triller.
There you go.
Yeah.
Man, I think they're making so much money off of. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And it's being held in a stadium with
Yeah.
no fans.
Yeah.
Like that's just, I mean, like think about that. Like this is a YouTuber
Yeah.
that is putting on a fight
And it's
in a major stadium and is going to make enough money to not only pay for that.
Just
but,
think of how many people were talking about the last one. How many people watched that? Like, we're fight fans, and we didn't watch it, but the rest of the world was just watching it.
yeah, they're still
You know?
intrigued. Yeah, they're
It's-
still
it's-
intrigued.
It's just crazy. Like and I think it's the time, and they see two guys talking shit, and they're popular,
Yeah.
and they're like, all right, I want to see them knock somebody out.
Yeah, yep, that's all. Hey, at the end of the day, everyone loves to watch people that talk trash fight.
Like-
yeah.
And it's so crazy that the UFC won't even like put John Jones in a fight like right now and make like just so much money. Like
Well,
I just don't understand it.
Jones
They-
wants so much money is the problem.
Yeah, I know, but how much money are they gonna make at this moment right now?
Exactly.
People that's the most important thing. Like you've seen so many fights make so much money through this COVID thing. Like the perfect time is to put on a big fight right now.
I know, but it's this game that the UFC plays. Like we've talked about, they don't want to pay their fighters more than they need. I mean, I really think that's Dana White's thought on it. It's like, okay, you want more money? I guess you're too scared to fight Francis. Now you're gonna say it's because of money. Like we don't care. We'll put Derek Lewis in there and make just as much money.
Yeah.
Like we don't
Yeah.
like that, because to him the UFC is the brand. So yeah, I don't know.
That's kind of what they were talking about. Well, you guys, who was talking about that? Jared was talking about the other day about NBA, right? It's like if they don't like it, all the NBA's got to do is get more players. Like everybody's lining up to play in the NBA.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. There's enough talent. I mean, all these other organizations got plenty of talent too. Someone will
Yeah.
take that spot.
And to be honest, it's all in your marketing. It's your product. You market
Yeah.
the players. The only reason we know the players or the fighters is because of you.
Right.
So, like, if you feel
Exactly.
that way, then do something about it. Basically.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know.
Crazy.
We'll see what happens. That's a big fight, though. They need to make it happen.
So you're watching this fight this weekend? The Paul brothers?
I'm not gonna buy it,
Nah.
but
Nah.
I'm gonna try to find a way. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if it's on. I don't know if it's on Saturday. Is Saturday the
I think
16th?
Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is Saturday.
Because
Yeah,
the
so that's
other
gonna be
brother
interesting.
fights Floyd, right? And they
He's
postponed it.
supposed. Yeah, he's supposed to. They postponed it because I just don't think anybody cared.
Right.
Because I mean, like
But
that
Floyd.
one's silly. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
like he's the greatest. Like no one has touched him. Like what makes you think this? Guy's been training for 3 or 4 years. Yeah, all because he's bigger. I don't know.
Right.
It's silly, but whatever. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
So what else we got, Richard? Anything?
What do we got here? Let me look at the
Since we don't got the spinny wheel.
Well, we didn't. Yeah, we didn't have much really to talk
I think we got, I think Blake
Yep.
said what?
Well, what's up with that? What's up with that TikTok?
What TikTok?
The one
Oh,
there
the
with
The FedEx.
yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I wish they would have fought. I was like,
I was.
what?
I
You
thought
ain't
they
gonna
were
fight?
good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I guess the
Um,
other thing, if you guys even want to talk about it, is the shooting.
Oh, the shootings. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how you shoot somebody with a taser or think you're shooting someone with a taser and it's a gun. Like, I
They said
just.
it
I
happens
think.
like once a year. They said it does happen like once a year, and I was looking at some things on it, and almost every time it happens, the cop goes to jail.
I just think
Wait,
that I can see that happening because it's you're going too fast and like it's feel like they both feel the same.
okay, hold on. Have you guys seen the video? Because I have not.
I've seen the video.
Okay, was it a like scary situation? Like,
No,
was she
it wasn't
threatened?
even like it like cuts a couple scenes. You know, like they're just like it's just fast. Like
Like,
when
is
you
he
say
trying
that,
to drive?
it's just fast.
Is he trying to drive away or what?
No, I think that they thought he was going to try to drive away because he did jump in the seat. Yeah.
He had so the reason they pulled him over was kind of silly, and I guess he had like expired a plate, and he had air condition or air freshener on the mirror, which I guess is illegal in Minnesota.
Really?
So I guess
Dude, who
when
makes these rules?
I guess when they pulled him over, they found out there were warrants.
Yeah, that he had to work.
So they were trying to arrest him, and it escalated. She said, I'm gonna." She said, "I'm gonna discharge my taser," and then you hear the pop, and she says, like basically, I think she says, "Oh my God, I shot him," or something like that. So she
Man,
announced that she was going for the taser. So that obviously was her intent. Or I mean, just watch the video, but it's just like I don't know how it could have gone differently. It seems silly to pull somebody over for that. Like, why can't you? I don't know. Like it.
every time this happens, it's just so hard not to like. There's always the part that says, "Hey, stop pulling people over for stupid stuff," and it wouldn't have happened,
Yeah.
right? And then it's the other, and then it's the other side. It's like, "Hey, just don't resist arrest, and it won't happen." So it's like there's this like fine line between it's like, and then of course, you know, be better, do better at your job. Like, you should never accidentally take someone's life as a police officer because you think you have one thing over another. Like, it just, if it does happen once a year, then they gotta change the way things are, So, but I mean, I always defend cops though, because it's like, it's a high pressure, it's a scary, especially now, and honestly, I'd hate to see that this cop has to go to jail. I mean,
Yeah, 'cause she resigned today.
Yeah.
well, of course.
And
Yeah.
then you're putting
I mean, her,
second degree.
yeah. I mean, her life's
Yeah,
ruined.
manslaughter.
Yeah, she like we always say, she didn't wake up that day saying, "I'm gonna take someone's life and ruin my life." It's just they sign up to protect and to care or whatever, right? At least that's what they're supposed to do, And then sometimes you have a really, really, really bad day, and but that could be any of us, really. Any of us have a bad
But
day
I
and
think
accidentally kill
one of the
someone. I
root
guess.
causes is kind of like what you said. Like now it's like a time to where everything's kind of sketchy, right? Like I think some of the root causes is this person gonna hurt me? Like I think a lot of this is, does this person have a gun? Like, am I gonna get shot? I think we've gotten here because like everybody has a gun. You know what I'm saying? Like
But
I feel cops are more scared that they're gonna get shot. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I really feel like everyone has a gun, though.
I feel like everybody has a
I feel
gun.
like you're,
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, I mean
yeah.
this past week somebody shot up a school with an AK-40. No, it wasn't an AK-47. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I
It was in
think you
Knoxville,
guys
Tennessee, though.
really. I think you guys. Yeah, I remember seeing that. And I was swamped. I couldn't click on anything. So what happened there with the school shooting?
I honestly didn't really read that much of it.
Yeah,
From what I understand, he had the gun, and a couple of kids were shot. A police officer was shot in his went to the bathroom and they kind of had a shootout, and then he got killed.
Dude, I mean, it's like we talked about a few weeks ago. I don't know if people are just seeking attention or they're just fed up with life, or maybe the pandemic and all of this has to do with it, or just I think the emptiness of knowing what to believe and who to trust, like all that we've kind of mentioned. It's just, I don't know if people are just losing their minds, or, like we've talked, maybe it's video games, maybe it's movies, maybe it's YouTube, who knows, man? Maybe it's just mental health, but I don't know.
I think everybody's under pressure because they're like, all right, does this person have like, especially police officers, people are actually shooting at police officers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, like,
just
I
point
can lose
blank.
my life over every call, right? So like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna be in a high pressure situation.
Yeah.
I think this one kind of got bigger because it was like 10 minutes away from the George Floyd shooting.
Yeah.
And you got the race situation in that too. So I think a lot of this is being more brought up because people are actually seeing this stuff on camera.
But see,
like it's more amplified because people actually see this stuff. Like just think of like we're saying that it's more out there today. Like just think of all the stuff we never saw.
Yeah.
Exactly. Before these cameras. Like
right.
So we don't know if this has always been like this.
Right. And I think that's how people feel. Like every time you see it again, a month later, 2 months later, it builds that fire back inside, and then everybody wants to go. Which I don't understand why people loot and destroy. I don't get it. Like I don't know. I guess a peaceful protest doesn't do anything either. So I'm sure I think I've heard a lot of people say that. It's like, well, you all want us to have a peaceful protest, but we've been trying to do that for hundreds of years, and no one's listening. So we're gonna, throw a brick through a building. I don't know, man.
All that, it's not like you're storming the Capitol,
Yeah. I know we mentioned it earlier about the border control, that podcast with Theo Vaughn, that officer. That was pretty fascinating because he really kind of brought to light like more of like what's really going on at the border and all the crime that's coming in and the drugs and then using little kids, and like they're using little kids, like they will basically pay a family to take their kid with them to try to get across the border, because if they get caught and they have a kid with them, the punishment's not as severe or whatever, right? And it's like these kids are getting lost like in the shuffle, because sometimes like this officer was talking about how like he's had times where it's like a woman has a baby and is trying to get across the border and is getting stopped and will hand this baby just to any guy because she's so desperate to get this, to get to America. And then the guy will like literally be like, I don't know what to do with this baby, and we'll have to give it to the officer. And then the officer's sitting there like, what am I supposed to do with this baby now? Like the mom is gone, and you know what I'm saying? Like there's just a lot of he was just telling me he was talking about a lot of the sad stuff that happens, but
why when we talk about kids being separated from parents, quote unquote, because they don't always know if that's the real parent. So sometimes when that separation happens, it's because either A, that wasn't really the parent, or B, they're trying to figure out if they are or not.
What the heck is that?
I think something.
That's my wife and daughter. That's my wife and daughter making fart sounds.
Dang. Thanks for bringing me back to middle school.
Right. Real mature guys.
I mean,
so you were saying that the kids are so young that they don't know if that's their real parents or not. Is that what I heard you say, Richard?
Yeah, well, a lot of the reason why, from what I've read, is the reason why the separation happens is because they don't know for sure whether or not that kid. Because the other thing you have to think about too is sex trafficking. Right?
That's the big one.
Is this child really belong to these people, or is this child being trafficked? Or is this child being used to smuggle drugs? Or why, so now they have to figure out. So I can't keep this child with this person because I don't know what this person's intentions are.
Right.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
you know, right.
Yeah, he was talking about how like you would find like young kids. Like he said, he goes it would go in waves. He goes like once school laid out was off, you would see like young men, young girls, trying to smuggle drugs into the country, and then he would talk about like older men, like you see like with these really old men that nobody would think would be doing this stuff, and like they're just targeting because everybody, it's like a side hustle, like he said
Right.
the drug business is just, it's a $1 billion business, and then the sex trafficking to even more, and he said, he goes listen, he goes, I really hope Biden, because I guess Biden has stopped the border control or whatever, and he's like you guys don't understand how big of a mistake that is. He goes, you got to remember that there's also terrorists trying to get into this country. He's like, not everyone here is trying to get a better life. A lot of them are here to come and destroy and to do whatever, right? So it's,
Take
I
money
mean,
back.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the one thing he said. He goes, everybody's worried about what's coming from the south to the north. He goes, what you need to be afraid of is what the north is doing to the south, because there's also criminals here that are also
That
part
go-
of this,
yeah.
and they're giving them weapons and doing, I mean, it's just bad. I think a lot of people think, well, that wall is to separate them from United States because we don't want a bunch of Mexicans or whatever here. Like, that's not it. Like, it's like there's some really, really bad stuff going on. So I don't know. It's just it kind of opened up my eyes a little bit more to it, I guess.
Yeah, that is crazy. Is that like the only like border that we have though? Like, is that the only border that we police?
I mean, the Canadian border does get policed. It's not as, there's not as many problems up there.
Right.
I feel like Mexico is, kind of like the 1800s Wild West.
Right.
It's, every man for himself. It's just kind of, that's what you feel like. I don't know if that's really is what it's like, but you hear about these gangs basically going into police departments and killing the entire police force of a town.
Mhm.
It's like, that's like some 1800s Wild West shit.
Yeah.
Right.
And they'll do that. Yeah. And they have no problem doing that now.
Right.
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 I mean, it's just because I don't know, man. It's just like, I don't know. I don't like to be fearful and feel like America's under attack, but I mean, there is part of me that kind of feels that way. I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't follow it close enough, but I feel like we're like the laughing stock now. It's just like, it seems like and maybe we're doing that to ourselves because the way we do media and the way we do social media and the way we are treating each other. I don't know, but kind of makes you wonder what other countries think of us.
Yeah, it's almost like you got enemies inside and you got enemies outside, and it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same
where do
way
I go?
in places, though. I mean, France has the same kind of issues with terrorists, and there's issues now, with Britain and everything, with Brexit. I mean, every place has like their little things they have going on. I don't necessarily think, America's the laughing stock, so to speak. I just think we're the most successful, and so it's easier to point a finger.
Right.
Yeah,
Probably
it's
that.
easier not to root for us.
Right. I mean, we're the Yankees of the world. I mean, New York Yankees. I mean,
The Yankees.
come on.
We're
That's
GS over here.
GS.
We're the Brooklyn Nets.
That's right. We're gonna buy that championship.
Yeah,
I hope they get it. It's gonna be awesome to watch Blake Griffin get a ring.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, let's just get it over with.
Huh.
NBA is so boring now. Like for the past
It-
10 years, it's been boring.
Really?
this year I'm bored of it.
There's like, what two teams are probably going to win the whole time, and then the playoff thing is just fake. Like, oh no, Miami might beat the Lakers. Like, no, they're not. Like, there's just no.
Yeah, I still like the playoff.
It never happens.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem to be the marquee teams are the ones that always win.
When
But
was the last time a team won and you went, holy shit?
well, but even for Miami to make it to the finals last year, though, that was kind of a shock. But then again, it's Miami. I mean, it's not like they haven't been there before, or who doesn't want to play in Miami?
I would
it's like-
I would say the Pistons teams, Richard.
Yeah, I
Like teams that definitely the NBA did not want to win.
15
You know what I'm saying?
at this point.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched much. I tried to watch a little bit of the Pacers game last night, but I mean, obviously we still do the fantasy thing, but I mean, I'll be glued once the playoffs start. I just love when it matters,
But but listen to you. It doesn't matter to you in season, and you're a fan. So I think that's why the players don't care.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's why they don't play.
Well, I mean, it's actually an interesting topic because it's like, is it time to change the way we do sports, including baseball? I mean, baseball's forever long. Very few people. I mean, there's still. Man, I'd really like to know what it's like for kids. Like, I mean, obviously we have kids, right? But I have girls, so they care less. But like when I was 12, 13, whatever, like. I knew every baseball player. I knew their stats. I had their cards. But I also didn't have 65 other different things to entertain myself with. So that has to be affecting sports. I mean, did you hear old boy from? Gosh darn it, what's his name? I think he's from the Timberwolves. I guess A-Rod. I don't know if A-Rod bought their team or invested in their team, and he was like, "Who's A-Rod?"
Yeah.
He was like, he has no idea who A-Rod is. He's one of the greatest baseball players of all time. But I just thought that was interesting, But he probably doesn't follow baseball,
Right.
So yeah.
I'll be in the NFL. My son will come into the room and he'll say, "What countries are playing?"
That's
Oh,
awesome.
really?
I'm just like, just go back to Destiny or Minecraft or whatever you're playing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. This isn't for you. You're good. You're not going to care in 10 years. I'm not even going to teach it to you.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So I can have a conversation on it work.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah,
That's funny.
NFL still has the best setup. It's a short season. The games actually matter.
Yeah, I think college football is the same way. I mean, any sport where it's that small amount of games,
gratification,
and everyone matters, But but you can't expect the NBA to do it that way. You can't expect baseball to do it that way. You just I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, yeah.
They also have the highest pay scales too, don't they? NBA and baseball.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
so they have to make the most money.
Get $300 million if you're a good baseball player.
Yeah, so you got to make the most money, so that's why they play the most games, right?
I guess as long as they're getting the sponsorships.
Yeah.
Yep. Get that Venom sponsorship.
That's right.
I'm gonna get that Condom Depot one.
I used to always giggle when I seen it. It's like, why do you have Condom Depot on your butt?
Yeah. That's what we should do next time. What were the bad UFC brands that were on shorts?
Oh, I know.
I think there was like
Condom
a blowout
Depot.
one.
Blowout
That'd be
one?
one that was right. I think there was like a blowout one or something, man.
I can't remember.
The Adam and Eve.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Different music today.